The Lion and the Mice, a tale of kindness and courage. In a great green jungle full of thick trees, bright flowers, and singing birds, there lived a strong lion named Shrew. His body was big and powerful, and his mane was golden like the sun. His loud roar could shake the trees and make all animals quiet. Shrew was the king of the jungle. All the animals feared him, and nobody dared to fight him. But Shrew was not a cruel lion. He only hunted when he was hungry and never killed for fun. He loved peace and spent most of his time resting under a tall tree near a big cave. That tree was special, it gave him shade, and under its roots lived a family of tiny mice. The mice were small but very cheerful. They had soft gray fur, round ears, and pink noses. They lived in holes under the tree and came out every day to play and collect food. The leader of the mice was a wise and kind mouse named Chintu. Even though the mice were scared of Shrew, they admired him too. They always kept a safe distance and played quietly. But one day, something happened that changed everything. One hot afternoon, Shrew was fast asleep under the tree. His belly was full, and his loud snoring scared even the monkeys in the trees. The mice came out to play as usual. They were running, jumping, and laughing. Chintu warned, "Be quiet. The king is sleeping." But a young mouse named Golu was full of energy. He ran faster than others and suddenly, without thinking, jumped on Shrew's tail. Swish! Shrew's tail moved. Golu flew in the air and landed on the lion's back. Before he could jump down, Shrew opened his eyes. Roar! The jungle echoed with the lion's roar. All the mice ran into their holes. But Golu was caught under Shrew's heavy paw. "You little creature," growled Shrew. "You dare climb on me while I sleep." I'm sorry," cried Golu. "Please forgive me. I didn't mean to. I was just playing. Please don't eat me." Shrew looked at the trembling mouse. His sharp teeth could end Golu's life in a second. But something stopped him. Maybe it was Golu's small, scared eyes. Maybe it was the jungle wind that whispered peace. "Why should I let you go?" Shrew asked. "Because one day, I might help you." Golu replied quickly. Shrew laughed loudly. "You help me? That's the funniest thing I've heard." Golu stood brave. Even the smallest creature can help the biggest one. Shrew was surprised by the little mouse's courage. "Fine," he said, lifting his paw. "Go. But don't wake me again." Golu ran back to his hole. All the mice were shocked that Shrew had spared him. That night, they all thanked the lion in their hearts. Weeks passed. The jungle remained peaceful. Shrew stayed kind, and the mice stayed careful. One morning, Shrew decided to walk deep into the forest where he had never been before. He followed the sound of running water and found a beautiful stream. Birds sang above, and butterflies flew around him. Suddenly, he felt a sharp pain around his paw. Then another. Then something wrapped around his legs. Snap! It was a hunter's trap. A large net fell from the trees, and before Shrew could run, he was tied tightly in ropes. He roared and thrashed, but the net was strong. The more he moved, the tighter it became. Soon, a group of hunters arrived, smiling. "We finally caught the great lion," one said. "He'll make us rich." Shrew tried to roar again, but his voice was weak. He was helpless, tired, and sad. The hunters tied the net to a tree and went back to get their cart. The jungle grew quiet. Birds flew away. Even the monkeys stopped playing. Everyone heard Shrew's roar, but no one dared go near the trap. No one, except a small mouse. Chintu, the mouse leader, had heard the lion's cry from far. He gathered the mice and said, "Our king is in trouble. We must help him." "But he's a lion," said one mouse. "What if he eats us?" "He saved Golu," said Chintu. "Now it's our turn." The mice followed Chintu through the forest. When they reached the trap, they saw Shrew lying weak in the net. He opened his eyes and saw his tiny friends. "Go away," he whispered. "You cannot help me." But Chintu said, "We promised, and we keep our promises." Then, all the mice began to chew the ropes. Their sharp teeth worked fast. One by one, the ropes broke. The net became loose. Charu's legs were free. His paws were free. And finally, snap, he was free. The lion stood up slowly. You saved me, he said. We are small, said Chintu, but together, we are strong. Just then, the hunters returned. But Charu was ready. He roared so loudly that the ground shook. The hunters dropped their weapons and ran away in fear. Charu looked down at the mice and bowed his head. From today, you are not just my neighbors. You are my friends. From that day, the jungle changed. The story of the lion and the mice spread like wind. The elephants spoke of it, the parrots sang it, and the deer shared it with their children. Charu became not only the king but also a symbol of kindness and friendship. He no longer walked alone. He often visited the mice under the tree, and they would share nuts and stories with him. He protected them from snakes and other dangers, and they warned him of hunters and traps. Chintu and Golu became heroes among the mice. The jungle animals began to respect even the smallest creatures. They understood that size does not define value. One day, the animals decided to build a new rule in the jungle. No animal is too small. No voice is too weak. We are all important in the circle of life. They called it the law of friendship. To celebrate their new friendship, Charu invited all animals for a great gathering. The birds decorated trees with flowers. The monkeys brought fruits. The mice made music with small leaves and pebbles. All the animals sat in a circle. Charu stood in the center and roared softly. This jungle is our home, he said. Let us live in peace. Let us help each other. And let us never forget, even the smallest friend can do the biggest help. Chintu stepped forward and said, and may the strong protect the weak, as friends, not rulers. The crowd cheered. That night, the jungle sparkled with stars. No animal was afraid. They danced, sang, and celebrated. The lion roared, not in anger, but in joy. The mice danced under the moonlight, and the story of their bravery was told again and again. Years passed. Charu grew older, and Chintu had many grandchildren. But their story lived on. Young animals learned that strength is not just in muscles but in the heart. Bravery can live in the smallest body. Kindness is the greatest power of all. In every corner of the jungle, animals remembered the day the lion and the mice became friends. That tree, under which the mice lived and Charu rested, was now called the Tree of Unity. And whenever a young mouse asked, "Can I really make a difference?" the elders would smile and say, "Yes, just like Chintu and Golu." Because in that jungle, the greatest tale was not about war or fear, but about how one lion chose mercy, and one tiny mouse proved that even the smallest life can shine like a star. Moral of the story: kindness is never wasted. No one is too small to help. True strength lies in friendship, not fear.